Imagine you are standing in a place where the world is quiet. The ground is covered in a deep blanket of white snow. The air is so cold that when you breathe out, you can see your breath turn into a small, white cloud that quickly disappears into the darkness. Above you, the sky is a vast, endless canvas of deep, dark ink dotted with the tiny, sharp lights of distant stars. There are no city lights here to wash away the darkness. There is only the soft crunch of snow beneath your boots and the immense silence of a winter night. You feel very small under this enormous sky, a tiny part of a much larger world. You pull your warm coat tighter around you and lift your face to the heavens. You are waiting. You are watching. The silence is not empty. It is full of anticipation. The cold nips at your cheeks, a constant reminder of where you are, far to the north. And then it begins. It starts not with a sound, but with a subtle change in the darkness itself. A faint, almost ghostly wash of pale green appears, like a whisper of color painted onto the blackness. It is so gentle at first that you might question if you are truly seeing it, or if your eyes are playing tricks on you in the deep night. The faint green line does not stay faint for long. It begins to grow stronger, its color deepening from a pale mint to a vibrant glowing emerald. The line starts to move, to undulate, to sway across the star-filled sky as if it were a living thing. It is no longer just a line, but a magnificent, flowing ribbon of light. It stretches from one side of the horizon to the other, a celestial river flowing through the cosmos. You stand completely still, your head tilted back, your heart beating a little faster. You are no longer just looking at the night sky. You are witnessing something truly magical unfold. This is the Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights. It is a spectacle that has captivated humans for thousands of years. It feels ancient, and yet it is new every single time it appears. The sheer scale of it is difficult to comprehend. The lights seem to be just above you, close enough to touch, but they are happening miles and miles above the surface of the earth. The silence remains, but the sky is now filled with a silent symphony of light and motion. In this moment, there are no words, only a profound sense of wonder that fills you completely, connecting you to the wild, beautiful power of the natural world. The green ribbons continue their slow, graceful dance. They twist and turn, forming enormous curtains of light that seem to hang in the air. The edges of these curtains are sharp and bright, while the centers are softer, more diffuse. Sometimes you might see a flicker of another color appear along the bottom edge of the green band. A hint of soft pink or a deep rosy red can suddenly flare up, adding a surprising warmth to the cool green glow. These new colors might last for only a few seconds before fading back into the dominant green, like a brief, shy blush on the face of the night. The movement is mesmerizing. The lights do not just drift, they can pulse and surge with energy. One moment, they are a gentle, waving curtain, and the next, they can shoot across the entire sky in a sudden, brilliant burst of activity. These bursts, called coronas, can look as if the sky is exploding with light directly overhead, with rays of green and purple light shooting down towards you from a central point. It is a breathtaking and dynamic display, a cosmic performance that is never the same twice. The shapes are always changing, morphing from arcs to spirals, from bands to rays, all moving with a fluidity that seems impossible. Standing there, watching this silent ballet, you become acutely aware of your own senses. You feel the sharp, clean cold on your exposed skin. You hear the faint rustle of your own clothing as you shift your weight from one foot to the other. You see the incredible spectrum of light, from the faintest wisp of green to the most intense, vivid purple. The sheer spectacle can make you feel a deep sense of peace. The problems of the everyday world seem to melt away, replaced by the simple, powerful experience of being present in this moment, a humble observer of one of nature's greatest masterpieces. The patterns of light can sometimes seem to have a rhythm. They might pulse slowly, brightening and then dimming with a steady beat, like a giant, sleeping heart. At other times, the movement is rapid and chaotic, with beams of light darting back and forth so quickly it is hard for your eyes to keep up. It is this constant change, this unpredictability, that makes the aurora so captivating. You are not just looking at a static picture, you are watching a story unfold in the sky, a story written in the language of light, color, and motion, told only for those who are patient enough to watch. While the northern lights feel like magic, they are born from a beautiful and powerful science that connects our planet to the star at the center of our solar system, the sun. Our sun is not a quiet, calm ball of fire. It is constantly sending a stream of tiny, electrically charged particles out into space in every direction. This stream is called the solar wind. Most of the time, this solar wind flows past our planet, deflected by Earth's magnetic field, which acts like an invisible shield. However, the sun can also have more violent outbursts, known as solar flares or coronal mass ejections, which send much larger clouds of these particles hurtling towards us. When these energized particles from the sun arrive at Earth, they are guided by our planet's magnetic field towards the north and south poles. As they travel down into our upper atmosphere, they begin to collide with the atoms and molecules of gas that make up the air we breathe, though at a very high altitude. These collisions are incredibly energetic. They transfer energy to the gas particles, causing them to become excited. But the gases cannot hold on to this extra energy for long. To return to their normal state, they release the energy in the form of tiny packets of light, which we see as the beautiful, shifting colors of the aurora. The different colors we see in the sky depend on which type of gas is being struck by the solar particles and how high up in the atmosphere the collision happens. The most common color, a brilliant green, is produced by collisions with oxygen molecules at an altitude of about 60 to 150 miles. Sometimes, when the solar activity is very strong, the particles will strike oxygen atoms at much higher altitudes, above 150 miles. These high-altitude collisions produce the rare and beautiful all-red auroras. The pinks, blues, and purples are often created by collisions with nitrogen molecules at lower altitudes. So, every time you watch the aurora dance across the sky, you are witnessing a direct and visible connection between the sun and the Earth. You are seeing the end of a 93-million-mile journey, as particles that left the sun days ago finally arrive and put on a spectacular light show in our planet's atmosphere. It is a powerful reminder that we are not isolated in space, but are part of a dynamic and interconnected cosmic system. The science behind the lights does not diminish their wonder. Instead, it adds another layer of awe to the experience, revealing the grand, invisible forces that shape our world. To witness this celestial wonder, you must travel to the right places at the right time. The northern lights are most visible in a ring around the Earth's magnetic North Pole, an area known as the auroral oval. Norway, Sweden, Finland, Iceland, Canada, Alaska, Antarctica, Tasmania, southern tip of New Zealand. The key is to get as far away from the bright lights of big cities as you can. The best season for aurora hunting is during the long, dark nights of winter. From late September to early April, the nights are longer and the skies are darker. While the lights can technically occur at any time, you need darkness to be able to see them. Clear skies are also essential. A thick blanket of clouds will hide the show completely. Check the local weather forecast before you head out. Many websites and apps also provide an aurora forecast, which predicts the likelihood of auroral activity based on recent solar events. When you plan your trip, preparation is simple but important. The most crucial tip is to dress warmly. Wear multiple layers of clothing, thermal underwear, fleece or wool mid-layer waterproof, and windproof outer jacket and pants, insulated boots, warm socks, hat, gloves, scarf. Patience is your most important tool. The aurora is a natural phenomenon. It operates on its own schedule. Some nights the show begins the moment it gets dark. Other nights, you may have to wait until the early hours of the morning. Bring a few simple things to make your experience better. A flask of a hot drink like tea or hot chocolate can bring welcome warmth during a long, cold wait. If you wish to photograph the lights, a camera with manual settings and a sturdy tripod are essential to capture long exposure shots. Keep your phone and camera batteries warm by storing them in an inside pocket. Cold temperatures can drain them very quickly. But most importantly, remember to put the camera down from time to time. Allow your eyes to adjust fully to the darkness. Simply experience the moment with your own senses. For centuries, long before we understood the science, people in the North created stories to explain the mysterious lights in the sky. These myths and legends are as beautiful as the aurora itself, connecting the celestial display to the human world of spirits, animals, ancestors. In Finland, one of the most charming stories tells of a creature called the Tuulikettu, or fire fox. According to the legend, this magical fox runs across the snowy fells of Lapland. Its large, bushy tail sweeps the snowdrifts, sending sparks up into the night, creating the colorful dancing lights. In parts of Norway and Sweden, the Sami people held the aurora in great respect, and at times, fear. They believed the lights were the souls of their ancestors. Waving, whistling, singing under the aurora was considered disrespectful and dangerous. It might draw the attention of the spirits, who could reach down and carry you away. The lights were a sacred bridge between the world of the living and the realm of the dead, a powerful and spiritual presence in the winter sky that commanded reverence. These stories taught a deep respect for the power and mystery of nature. These cultural tales add a layer of human warmth to the cold, vast spectacle. They remind us that for generations, people have looked up at the same sky and felt the same sense of awe. They saw not just particles and gases, but the movements of God's spirits of loved ones, trails of magical creatures. These stories are a vital part of the aurora experience, weaving the lights into the fabric of human culture and history. Seeing the lights connects you not only to the cosmos, but also to the long line of humanity that has stood under them in wonder. As our world becomes brighter, these dark, clear skies are becoming a rare treasure. The glow from our cities creates light pollution, a haze that washes out the stars and can hide the gentle glow of the aurora. Protecting our dark skies is a quiet but important act of conservation. It means using light more thoughtfully in our towns and cities, pointing lights down where they are needed, turning off lights we are not using. By preserving the darkness, we preserve the ability for future generations to look up and feel that same sense of wonder, to see the firefox run, to feel connected to the vast, beautiful universe. The aurora is a gift, and it is our responsibility to ensure the stage for its dance remains dark.